A little over a week ago, I was in a really rough spot and I was sitting in the sauna. I was feeling pretty hopeless, pretty down. And I did something that I haven't done in a long time. And only describe it as praying out loud, an earnest and fervent prayer to God to take away whatever it was that I was feeling. Before I go any further with this story, I want to pause for one moment. I want you to notice what happened to you when I said God. Maybe you're like me and you were raised in Christianity and you start thinking like, uh-oh, what is he talking about? That doesn't feel good. Maybe you are Christian and you might be really hoping that I'm about to speak about Christianity and the Christian God. It's important to recognize the projections we have when it comes to the divine. To clarify right now, I honestly don't even know what I'm talking about. I don't know what God is, but I do believe in it. And I think it's an important relationship. And I think it's important to have a relationship with the higher power. Back to my story. I left the sauna. I felt amazing. I attributed that to having cold plunged and saunaed and breathed. It didn't occur to me that I was feeling better because a prayer was answered. A couple days later, that thought occurred to me and I said, maybe the prayer worked. Then I go to a lunch with some friends. One of my dear friends, Cody, asks me, how are you doing? I say, I'm not doing great. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm handling so much shit and I feel like it's overwhelming me. And he said, well, what is your fear? Why are you doing that? Why are you overfunctioning? And I said, well, because if I don't do it, then who will? And he says, out of nowhere, well, if you don't handle it, do you believe that God can handle it? And I respond, well, that's fucking crazy. That's what I've been thinking about the last couple of days. And he says, yeah. What would happen if you just didn't try and handle it and you exercised a little bit of faith, a little bit of trust in the universe and in God that it will be handled? You don't have to pretend to be God. You don't have to pretend to be responsible for everything. Do you believe that? And I said, yeah, I do believe that. But my behavior would indicate otherwise. If you watch me behave, you would say, that guy doesn't believe that at all. He thinks he's God. And then Cody said, here's what I would suggest. See if you can let go of things. Notice that things get handled. Write that down and start collecting evidence that God exists and that God is taking care. I heard that and I'm like, you have no idea how profound and how relevant that is. And Cody said, I know. I got a little buzz from God. They wanted you to hear that message. And I said, holy shit. So anyway, now in my phone, I've got a little folder that says evidence of God. And I'm walking around my life. I'm asking for help. I'm looking for synchronicities. I'm looking for when I don't overfunction to handle the thing and it turns out all right. And I'm tracking that all. And would you believe it? It's working out. And I'm feeling immensely empowered by this new observation and this new relationship. Remember, feeling is freedom.